The trial and conviction of British socialite Ghislaine Maxwell for sex trafficking and the enticement of underage girls for financier Jeffrey Epstein, who died in jail awaiting trial for child molestation charges for months, dominated world headlines. In her role, Maxwell lured, befriended, groomed, and arranged meetings between teenage girls to be sexually abused by Epstein and his wealthy friends. Maxwell's conviction in December came several months after the 2018 conviction of a Liberian-born nurse based in the United Kingdom who led a sex trafficking ring that forced Nigerian women to work in German brothels. She threatened her victims with voodoo magic to keep them quiet. What is so eye-opening in both cases is many believe the prototype of a sex trafficker is a male, but research suggests that women comprise up to 1/3 of the perpetrators of human trafficking worldwide, and 60% of the traffickers in Eastern Europe and Asia. Among the many questions is, why would a woman traffic another woman into the sordid and shameful world of sex trade? Is it because female traffickers are 16% less likely to be arrested and persecuted for crimes than their male counterparts? We'll discuss this and more ahead on Our Voices. Hello, I'm Amina Aliyu, and this is Our Voices. On today's program, we'll take an in-depth look at sex trafficking in Nigeria and the role women are playing in using force, fraud, or coercion to induce another individual to sell sex. We'll also take you undercover in Africa's most populous nation and to see what goes on behind the scenes to lure women into sex trade on the continent and abroad. Please be advised that today's program may have content that is not appropriate for some of our younger viewers, so viewer discretion is advised. Let's begin with the International Organization for Migration, who says that there are at least 1.4 million victims of human trafficking living under coercion and exploitation in Nigeria. The UN agency says Nigeria is an origin, transit, and destination to some of the highest numbers of victims of human trafficking who have suffered some very inhumane treatments. But officials say women are now playing primary roles in the organized trafficking of other women, and that sometimes these women are also victims seeking freedom. But a former director at Nigeria's anti-trafficking agency has set up a non-profit, the Roost Foundation, to provide support for victims. Timothy Obiezu has more.
In 2014, Latifa Ayodele was invited by a female relative to travel to Malaysia to further her studies. But the life-changing opportunities she imagined nearly destroyed her. We are not using her real name to protect her identity. When Ayodele arrived in Libya after an arduous journey, she was taken by a madam and forced into prostitution.
They're called halos. It's those halos that they now arrange us inside at the back, 24 people sat at the back, and the east side 8 people. We just fold ourselves inside like that. The woman took another halo so that we cannot ask her any question again.
Ayodele never got to Malaysia but remained in Libya working as a sex slave for 4 years until she was able to escape. Nigeria's National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, says nearly half the suspects arrested for human trafficking in 2019 were women, usually older women known as madams, who lure and traffic other women. Josiah Emerole heads NAPTIP's intelligence arm.
Everybody is actually involved, both men and women. But when you look at the international dimension, which has to do mostly with sexual exploitation, you discover that it is mostly the madams, the women, who are the main perpetrators, but they also use people of other sex, which is the men, to even take all these people away.
Esther Okafor, also not her real name, was trafficked to Libya. After nearly 2 years as a sex slave, she managed to escape to a Catholic church where she was rescued by the International Organization for Migration and repatriated to Nigeria. But she was already 5 months pregnant.
In Libya, abortion is like a crime. You go to prison for it. So, and besides, I didn't have the money, even though it could happen. I didn't have the money. I was not financially capable.
NAPTIP says it is difficult to determine the exact number of sex trafficking cases in Nigeria because so many go unreported. But a non-profit group started by a former NAPTIP director enables victims to report issues of trafficking and other forms of gender-based violence.
We refer cases like that to NAPTIP, for criminal litigation cases where it is possible to get their traffickers, but sometimes the victims do not even know who their traffickers are. They can't give you any information. And so we just give them psychosocial support and empower them.
Experts say victims like Ayodele and Okafor will suffer psychological scars from their ordeals for the rest of their lives. Timothy Obiezu for VOA News, Abuja, Nigeria.
Our voices hit the streets of Nigeria to see what people are thinking about the rise of sex trafficking in the country and to discuss the part women play in the recruitment of women and girls in our Your Voices segment.
I believe women play a vital role in trafficking for girls and young ladies into sex for business, because some of them are just after money.
I think women play a very critical role in recruiting young girls into prostitution, because they are the ones that understand the psyche of young minds.
Women play a significant role in the recruiting of sex trafficking, especially nowadays when the economic situation is biting very hard, especially at this part of the world in Africa.
Nigerian women make up the majority of African human trafficking victims in Europe, with most forced into prostitution, according to media reports. Germany's Federal Crime Police Office says Nigerian women made up the largest share of African human trafficking victims at 61% to the country, with estimates of over 20,000 Nigerian women, many of them minors, going into Italy via the Mediterranean Sea. Here now to discuss her award-winning undercover human trafficking investigation is Nigerian journalist Tobore Ovori. She nearly lost her life defending the voiceless. I began by asking her about her undercover experience.
It's a world of exploitation, and I mean endless exploitation. It's a world of, I would say, man's inhumanity to fellow humans, watching persons being killed, and when I say being killed, in a very terrible manner. I would say it's a dark world. The experience is pitch black. That's how I would describe it. Pitch black. No human being should be subjected to such. How much more by fellow humans?
How do we deter people, specifically young people, from following this path?
To discourage such risky journeys, not only for young ladies, but for everyone. I would want to propose what I would call information empowerment. We still need to create more awareness, better awareness about embarking on risky journeys. During the investigation, I did come across young ladies who knew that they were being taken out of the country for sex work. However, they didn't know what awaited them at the other side. They didn't know, but they knew, yes, we are being moved out of the country for sex work. But of course, they never knew that horrendous experiences awaited them, and they never knew that they could be killed and their organs harvested. the job offer is sex work when they are taken out of the country, but they don't know that it's not just humans they'll be sleeping with. They don't know the amount of beating that they will be tortured out there. They don't know the risk awaiting them out there. They don't know the danger. The traffickers' trolleys are the go-between for the madams and the traffickers. The trolleys are those who the product. When they say product, they actually mean the victims to be taken out of the country to be trafficked. The trolleys will paint very beautiful picture. But once the young ladies or the young men are taken out of the vicinity they are familiar with, trouble begins. So many of them are not aware of this. Young persons out there, not just young ladies, young Nigerians should be better informed. I'm aware various organizations, even non-profits, are trying their best, going around, hey, see, stop the risky journeys. If I were to assess, I would say we still have more work to do. So we need to put more information out there. We are not doing enough. We need to put more information out there. Then besides empowering young persons with information, I would want to say that we need economic empowerment as well. Because during the course of my investigation, I mingled with young persons who were university graduates. And they decided, okay, maybe we are going to make it when we get out of the country. So they embarked on the risky journey. We need to empower young persons in Nigeria. It would really help in curbing the rate of trafficking in the country.
It's time for a break. But first, what role do you think women play in recruiting other women and girls into sex trafficking? Please share your views on our social media platforms. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Our handle is at VOA Our Voices. We are also on WhatsApp. Our number is on your screen. When we return, we'll take you undercover in Nigeria and see how voodoo is used as a scare tactic to lure women and girls into sex trafficking in Russia. That's in our Uncommon Voices segment. Stay with us.
On VOA Our Voices, women are using their voices to empower,
to nurture,
to educate,
to stand up in any language.
Amajguyachu,
Dimsachan,
Warioyamu,
Mazwiedu,
Our Voices. Welcome back. You're watching Our Voices. It's time for our Uncommon Voices segment as we go undercover following a young woman named Florence who broke out in lesions on her face, believing she was cursed. Then only 17 years old, she was convinced it was because she was crossed by a black magic that was cast upon her by a madam as she left Nigeria to work in Russia's sex trade. She shares her story.
I was thinking that my daughter was plating here to earn her money. I know that it was prostitution.
They took my pants, they took my bra, they took my pubic hair from my armpits and also from my private parts.
No, if they swear, see that they fear if they swear, make them not wrong.
I know they feel guilty, except say you know what, if you don't want to go on your mind.
I've never seen so many native doctors, juju priests, and priestesses in my life.
It's all about swear put. No one will ever come here.
I came from the family of 8. We struggled to make life. There was no money. I was a chorister, and when they found out I had a very good voice, people that comes, who programs, these church programs, they were like, this guy has a very nice voice. So they had to invite me outside the church for programs.
The assistant pastor in my church called me. So when I got to church, then he told me that was in a revelation when he saw that I left the country, that my destiny is not in the country, that I'm the light of my family. All sort of interesting words he used on me that day. But I told him that I don't have the money to travel. He said that I have a sister over there that lives in Russia, named Vivian, that if I'm really interested that I want to go, that the sister will help me and will support me.
I met a woman and she asked me if I would travel out. Then I said yes. My elder sister, she was sick and my mom had to go and borrow money. After that, she could not pay. So the best option is for me to leave the country and help my family.
Edo State is highly endemic to human trafficking. Young girls and boys, deceived and trafficked and exploited, and then before they know it, they are in the hands of traffickers.
My friends for that Europe, so they call me. That is, if I feel they bring guests to them, because say okay, no wahala. Some of my mates, I will tell them say they look for guests, so they will see bring and come for me, will see help them travel.
She called me on the phone to meet her up. She now said I'm to pay 70,000 euros. Then I now said it's too big. She now said that, how much will I pay? I said 50,000. She said okay.
They took my pants, they took my bra, they took my pubic hair from my armpits and also from my private part. I was like, I can't do this. Then the guy, which is the pastor, was like, you have to do it. And because my sister take other girls there, when they get there, they see how beautiful life is over there. They will refuse to pay the money, instead they'll run with the money. So you don't have any choice than to do it.
We carry them to Babalawo, do everything before they go see me there. Come out. So that juju now, when you see yourself, the fear.
Okono my way no go adiowa ge gbebo mi oko ki o ga oko are we both omu here. Anyone that wrong we fit cause create for am, or if the mazes without stop. Once you have that problem, we must tell us, okay, see what we want to do, then run back where you run, go and pay your madam. So you will do.
For my own, I know the key. I no go tell am say me kill am, me do juju kill am. So na that come Nigeria, that suffer. When he suffer remain, he will continue and suffer am. Babalawo dey help.
Sometimes we just have to run away from the work because the work is somehow horrible. Sometimes one man will call you, 15 men might be there. Sometimes even that 15 men, they will want to pay like all night. They will just frustrate the life of that young girl. There are millions of things that have happened. I was bleeding inside my mind, but there was nothing I can do. They have even thrown me from story building where I break my hand. Maybe the man might even take the money from you. And when you get back home, your mother will tear the book. Some will even beat the girl on top of what the man had done. Then they will bring iron and begin to press. Some even go to a private part, mark it with razor. All because the girl allowed the man to take the money. And sometimes a man will call you when you get into the house with him. He will bring out a gun and tell you that, come. So when that kind of thing is happening, I calculate fast. I calculate very sharply. First of all, when I get to a man's house, I look at where he keeps his key. I look at how he locks the door. I look at how he opens his door. I look at where the bathroom, I look at where the toilet, trying to protect my life from death because I know it's not my time to die.
Europe is not a bed of roses. There was a sister, we were living together. She went to the street. A white guy came to pick her. Normally we use hotel or a parking, but I don't know what made that sister to go to that white guy's house. Till now, we don't know her whereabouts. But when I was in Europe, I did a lot of things for my family. My mother, I gave her pocket money. My father as well. I'm the one that sponsored my brother and his wife. I was like the light, the hope they have.
Nobody go want me to suffer. For some family day, to eat, to buy garri, they had. They go try, make they see come out, go see fair money come. I mean the women with the one make they go. I know they feel guilty. Except say you know what, if you don't want to go na your mind, that one na your own mind. I know they guilty because I know go lead down, I know carry gun. They force you say, Oja, they go.
I noticed something strange on my own body. I noticed that my face started bringing out these little rashes. All here. Even to my lips here, everywhere was somehow horrible. Everybody was like, this is a magic. Your face is smooth, fine. What just happened to your face? I believe that the reason for all those things was because the mother used those things, those instruments. The pants, the bra. She used those items she took from me to take as a vengeance against me.
I was amazed because I've never seen so many native doctors, juju priests, and priestesses in my life.
And the senior my native doctor as a whole. No one can senior. Since Oba swear put, no one will ever come here.
Human trafficking is the third most lucrative illegal business in the world after drug and firearms. They invest so little in it and make so much money. So it is because of the gravity and the seriousness of the situation. That is why His Royal Majesty came out to make sure that human trafficking becomes a thing of the past in their communities and in their kingdoms.
I didn't tell my family what I was doing in Europe, and since I came back, I've never shared it with any of them. My parents don't live far from here, but it's up to 3 months I've went to see them. I hate seeing them crying, and also maybe they will ask me for some money and I cannot be able to give them the money. So because of that, I don't like going there. Sometimes I see myself as a failure because nothing is working out. Nothing is working out for me, nothing. If I have my way, I will definitely go back.
I planned for my mother when I left the country was that I thought of taking her to a better place, even more better than even where she was thinking. When I came to Nigeria, when I saw my mom, I felt bad. And the most funniest thing is that even the house I rented for her, I couldn't even fix the bills anymore.
Till my daughter come, before I realized that see what they are doing. She was thinking that my daughter was plating here to earn her money. I didn't know that it was prostitution. You know, where you did not see your daughter for a very long time, you know what your daughter passed through. I started crying. I just regret why she go there. She could have stayed in Nigeria.
My hairstyling business. That's what keeps me going. Native helped me set up my shop. I want to extend the shop, maybe to put this decoration, event planners, at least something different from even what others are doing. I got married this year, and now I'm expecting my first child. Mostly where I grew up, there were a lot of criticism. I was ashamed. Whenever I'm going, I go with my husband. My husband encouraged me to tell my story because he feels that many girls and millions of girls are being deceived, and thousands and millions will still be deceived if somebody don't talk about it.
That's all for this week. Thanks to my Our Voices colleagues, and on behalf of everyone at the Voice of America, I'm Amina Aliyu. Until next time, stay safe.